Hey everybody, I wanted to create a short video to talk a little bit about Beltane and especially Beltane during a pandemic because we have that coming up in a little over a week. And if you are planning to celebrate Beltane now and you haven't started planning, now's a good time to do it. So let's talk a little bit about Beltane. Beltane starts on May 1st. Some people begin celebrating it the night before, and the main overarching theme is like joy and sexuality and sensuality. Now we can break those things down into a couple different categories. So number one, we have joy, we have sexuality, we have sensuality, which means not just like sex stuff, but like also like your actual senses, like things that smell good, things that taste good, things that look beautiful. We've got all of that. That is really what sensuality is, right? So we have that. We have the fact that spring is in full bloom. We've got flowers all over the place blooming. You walk outside. When I walk outside my door, it just smells beautiful because my neighbors have all these flowers and it's spring, so they're all finally blooming. Also, some people honor the fairies, the fae folk, during Beltane. Some people honor them at midsummer and/or midsummer, but it's thought that the fae folk come out to play at Beltane. Those are a couple sort of like mini themes to start thinking about when we think about Beltane. Now, this Beltane is going to be a little bit different because we can't go out and dance a maypole. We can't go to an open ritual. We can't go out and buy a bunch of things for a ritual. I mean, we shouldn't. I received a Joann's flyer and with a lovely coupon, so of course I'd like to go out there, but it's just not smart. It's just not smart, and it's not safe for you or for other people, especially other people's old people. So stay in and think about what you actually already have. Like, what do you have around your house or your apartment? What do you have outside? What are your resources that you have like right now? Because a lot of us don't remember, don't realize that we have all of these resources. I can take a tea light candle and turn it into an intention candle with some herbs from the kitchen and a hairdryer. Like there are things that we don't remember that we actually have on hand. So let's talk about like fairy folk. What can we do to honor the fairy folk? When we talk about fairies, we can create a fairy garden. We could leave an offering out to the fae. A lot of people will leave out milk and honey overnight for the fae. Some people say that if you wash your face in the first dew of Beltane, you'll be able to see fairies. So that could be something that you might want to try to do. That would be getting up very early. So that would not be something that I would do. But it's something you could do if you are a morning person or if you're willing to get up, at the crack of dawn and wash your face in the dew. Another theme is flowers, because we've got all of the, all of the flowers that are blooming. Spring is in full effect. You could pick some flowers if you have flowers. You could decorate your house with flowers. You could make a flower crown. And when I say make a flower crown, I don't mean you have to make like a beautiful thing that you would pay $75 for at the Ren Fair. You can pick dandelions. You can make a dandelion crown. You can make a crown of, the little sour flowers, the yellow flowers with the sour stem. It doesn't have to be perfect, is what I want to say. I know for some people it's going to be their first Beltane, so it's kind of a bummer maybe that you can't go all out and go buy a bunch of silk flowers and make a beautiful flower crown and have a maypole and ribbon all the things. But, there's always next year. That's a good thing about the cycle, the cycle of the seasons and the wheel of the year is there's always next year. So when you're starting to put together your, celebration this year, you can always kind of start thinking about next year if there are things that you'd like to do that you're not getting to do. Let's talk about senses, sensuality. So like I was saying before, you can choose to listen to some good music. I'm sure there are Beltane playlists on Spotify. I think I have a Beltane playlist, but it's not Beltane songs. It's more like songs to dance to. Because in my coven, we usually do a circle dance. That's like our coven tradition. Obviously, we're not doing that this year. We're doing an online ritual. But there's also that. Listen to some good music. Listen to some witchy Beltane songs to get yourself in the mood. Redecorate something. Make something beautiful. Paint. Do a craft. Make a feast for your eyes. Make a feast for your mouth. Plan a specialized Beltane feast. The one place we get to go is a grocery store. So, choose carefully and make something delicious. There are a lot of opportunities to celebrate Beltane. Now, you don't even have to do a huge ritual. If ritual isn't your thing, because ritual isn't everybody's thing. If ritual isn't your thing, maybe just make a feast. Maybe just do art. Maybe just light a candle. Maybe just listen to music. The important thing is that it's done with intention and with honoring the turning of the wheel, with honoring the spring. If you are Wiccan, honoring of the Lord and Lady, and they're coming together, which is fertility, which is another big theme of Beltane. If you are Wiccan or you are Wiccan-ish, there's a little ritual called the symbolic great rite, and I say little because it's pretty short. It involves having a chalice and an athame or dagger, and you place the dagger inside the athame. The athame inside the chalice. The chalice represents the woman, the athame represents the man, coming together and providing fertility to the land and to themselves. So if you want to have sex, that's also a really great way to celebrate Beltane. I'm just looking to see if I skipped anything. It's also about love, and if you don't have a partner or you're not, you're not into that, you can also do something about self-love, loving yourself. There are tons of exercises and meditations about self-love, loving yourself, self-acceptance. These are all really great things to think about at Beltane as well. Maybe take a bath. That's also sensual as well. Choose oils or choose bubbles or choose whatever you want to choose to put in that bath. Make it joyful or make it sensual or make it whatever you want. But again, just do it with intention. So that's about it. I kept this one short, so yay. And like I said, just to wrap up and to remind you, just because it's not perfect and it's not exactly what you wish it was going to be, doesn't mean that it's a wash. You can still do it. You can still celebrate Beltane. Use the resources you have around you. Use whatever craft stuff you have in your cupboard or these herbs in your kitchen spice cabinet or anything you've got in your pantry, leftover material. Make something. Just enjoy the day, whatever that means to you, and just do it with intention. All right.